Today, we'll be talking about something that every single one of us experiences at some point in their life: pain. No matter where you come from, what family, where you were born, pain is inevitable. But suffering, it's optional. And pain becomes suffering when we don't have a purpose for it, when we don't have a big goal to endure the pain, it turns into suffering. And that's where many people get stuck in relationships, in business, and just in life in general. So today, let's talk about how we can turn that pain into fuel, into energy, into something that propels you forward to reach and achieve your goals, as opposed to keep you prisoner and stuck where you're in life. In order for us to do that, we need to shift our perspective and our mindset. Simple, but not an easy task. But let's go over some strategies and things you can do to shift that perspective and change your mindset, because it is possible. Pain is inevitable in life, and it shows up in heartbreaks, in losing jobs, in rejection, in failures, uncertainty, and even in growth. We all heard of the term growing pains because it is painful to grow. So the difference between people who rise above pain and those that drown is their why. That is their goal. Why? Why you do what you do? What is your life goal? What is your big why? Or let's say in a relationship. So let's say you're going to a breakup. If your goal and only goal is to be with that one person, be loved that particular person, the pain will feel inevitable. The pain will feel unbearable. But if your goal is to build a healthy, fulfilling relationship, one that feels like a two-way street, there is mutual connection, mutual respect, exciting and truly aligned with who you are, you're not going to tolerate someone that you cannot build that relationship with. And so when you break up with that person, you will tolerate the pain of walking away from what wasn't right for you. So let me give you a little context. I was with someone for a year, and then we broke up because we wanted different things. And I gave all my power away in a way that I wanted this particular person and only this particular person. And so the breakup felt, although I initiated it, it felt really difficult. However, I started afterwards seeing someone, and it just that shift of perspective that other person had of life and how he was communicating, it was just like eye-opening and so refreshing, because I saw the difference, what it's like to be with someone who is emotionally unavailable and someone who is emotionally available, someone who cannot communicate and is not in touch with their feelings, and someone who is. And it just made night and day difference. And long story short, afterwards, this first person reached out, and now he wanted for us to be together and to start and build a life together. And I said, okay. And deep down, it just felt something was off. And one day I sat down and I did my whys and my life goals. And I realized it was not even about this person. What I wanted was relationship that is grounded in mutual respect, in honesty, a consistent person that likes to be with me Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, as opposed to after being with me Monday and Tuesday, he needed the whole space on Wednesday and Thursday. And it just felt push and pull and inconsistent. And I didn't feel that this person is all in. So it turned out this person has anxious avoidant attachment style. This is very normal with people like this, with the push and pull and so on. When I reflected, I realized, you know what? I want a relationship that is this and this. Does this person provide that? No. Therefore, walking away was easy. It was night and day difference between the first breakup and the second breakup, because the first breakup, all I was thinking, I lost this person, although I walked away. I knew I have to walk away, but it felt painful. The second time was, you know what? I stood up for myself. I know what I want. This person cannot provide that. And therefore, I'm walking away. I'm looking for the person that will provide that I can build this relationship with. So you have to know your goal, your why, the big why. The same applies in business. If you are working for a paycheck, every obstacle will feel like unsurmountable. But if your goal is to be there, even if it's just for the paycheck, but on the side to build your own business, and that paycheck gives you the freedom to do that, believe me, it's going to be so much easier. And you're just going to look at this job and say, thank you, universe, for giving me this paycheck so I can pursue the business on the side. It's the same with things that overwhelm us, buying an apartment, moving, or getting a job in a different country or whatever. If you have a strong why, you're not going to feel the suffering of all this paperwork that you have to go through when you buy an apartment. Your stronger why would be, I'm getting this apartment, I'm going to be with this person, or we're moving to a bigger space with my family. It's just the why, it's completely different. It changes your perspective. So the pain that you have, if you don't have a why, it's a suffering. But if you have your strong why, that pain becomes a stepping stone, just a stepping stone, instead of a roadblock, something that would overwhelm you and you're going to be like, okay, the heck with everything. Every obstacle will feel like mountains. Think about the most successful people. They didn't succeed because it was easy for them. They succeeded because they had a reason, a strong reason for keep going. That's why many times when you are pressed to the wall and you have no other choice but to keep pushing, that is when you just keep going. I'm a single parent, and I remember when I first started my job at the TV station as a producer, it was so difficult. But for me, my goal was, I need to get us an apartment, a place where we can live. I'm a single mother, immigrant, living in one of the most expensive cities in the world, New York City, and my options were limited. But my why was gigantic. So I persevered through everything. And was the same thing when I moved to this country. My why was so strong. I just didn't have a choice of going back. There was just no way that I could go back because I knew I cannot come. If you don't have a why, here's how you can create one. And the best thing to do that is journaling. Journaling is my go-to tool. So journaling is the best. Also a vision board. I always create a vision board, and it makes a whole lot of difference. Ask yourself this: what kind of a life do I want to create? Just close your eyes and dream, but dream big. Many times it happened to me that I'll dream about something and then the universe will provide me with triple the amount of what I dreamed of. And then I'll think, why didn't I dream about bigger things? I gotta dream about bigger things because the universe multiplies. So what kind of a life do I want to create? Number one. Number two, what kind of a relationships do I want to have? And go through your whole relationships, like friends, colleagues, new friendships, old friendships, romantic partners, and so on. The most important question is, what impact do I want to leave behind? Because material possessions are great. I love clothes. I love living in a nice place. But what kind of an impact do you want to leave behind? We came with nothing and we're going to leave with nothing. But the most important thing is, how do you live in between the beginning and the end? How do you live? There are seasons in life, and the seasons of you learning, of you practicing new skills, of you being ambitious and going all in and taking every opportunity you can. But then comes a season of giving back, What do you want to leave behind? What your legacy you want to be? When you die, what do you want people to say about you? Person that got scared of every circumstance that life brought, be a person that played small. What do you want them to say? Or you want them to say, you know what? They went for everything that they wanted. They failed. They got up and did it again, and they were inspiration. They gave back, they volunteered, or whatever it is. Like, what your legacy? What do you want to leave behind? What kind of a relationship I want to create? Marriage and children. And then you reverse engineer and you say, okay, what person will give me that? A lot of people stay in toxic or unfulfilling relationships because they don't have a bigger why. They only focus on avoiding being lonely, seeking external validation, or maintaining certain level of comfort. But when you set higher standards for your relationships, when you commit to only accepting connections that are mutual, fulfilling, and aligned with your values, you gain the strength to walk away from anything else. Yes, a breakup hurts, but it's less painful when you know you're making room for something better. Rejection stinks, but it loses its power when you understand that the right people will align with you. They'll always align with you. And the right people will be an energetic match to you. If you want a career or make 100,000 or 200,000 a year, and then you reverse engineer, you can't leave your 9 to 5 job, but you can work from 6 to 10 in the evening and build a business. In business and success, pain often shows up as failure, rejection, and setbacks. But every successful person went through this. They didn't avoid failure, they embraced it because they had a strong why. And the failure is just a temporary setback. So if you're struggling with career or business, ask yourself this: are you focused on a short-term comfort or long-term fulfillment? Second question, do you have a big enough why to keep pushing through the hard times? And number 3, are you willing to trade temporary pain for a long-term success? And I'm sure you've heard the saying, decisions make your destiny, but it's true. The quality of our life is determined by our choices, by the choices we make. You can choose for failures to break you, or you can choose to let it build you. So the clearer your why is, the easier it is to endure the pain that comes with the growth. The secret of living your best life, it's not avoiding pain. It's choosing a big why that makes the pain worth it. That's it for today's video, and I hope that resonated with you. I'll see you next time. Ciao.